Welcome back, everybody. It's Thursday, November 6th, 2025. Born on this date in 1941, the man who followed Bear Bryant as coach at Alabama, Ray Perkins of Mount Olive, Mississippi. It's National Men Make Dinner Day, or so I've been told. Now, I'm way too smart to comment on this one. No, I'm not. Men, if you have to fix everything else around the house, you might as well fix dinner too. Hey, we're straight out of 1973. Today, we have some of the things said at the Auburn Turning Point rally, an influential voice on the Berry coal ash pond, and the future return of the senior games. I'm Mike Morgan, and we're down in Alabama.
This is a real good story about Bronx and his dad, Ryan, real United Airlines customers.
We were returning home, and one of the flight attendants asked Bronx if he wanted to see the flight deck and meet Captain Andrew.
I got to sit in the driver's seat.
I grew up in an aviation family, and seeing Bronx kind of reminded me of myself when I was that age.
That's Andrew, a real United pilot.
These small interactions can shape a kid's future.
It felt like I was the captain.
Allowing my son to see the flight deck will stick with us forever.
That's how good leads the way.
A crowd packed Auburn University's Neville Arena on Wednesday for a Turning Point USA rally that in part memorialized the organization's slain founder, Charlie Kirk, reports AL.com's William Thornton. The event was scheduled before the assassination of Kirk at Utah Valley University in September. He would have appeared at the event in Auburn as part of his tour of college campuses and towns, spreading his conservative message. U.S. Senator and Alabama gubernatorial candidate Tommy Tuberville spoke, eulogizing Kirk and warning the young adult conservative crowd of political battles ahead. Quote, "It's going to be your generation that's going to get this mess straightened out," end quote. President Trump's son, Eric Trump, also spoke alongside his wife, Laura. At one point, he called his dad on the cell phone, and his dad answered. I guess if you're family, you get to skip that "please hold for the president" part. Eric held the mic to the phone and the president addressed the crowd, calling Auburn a special place and AU a great school. Quote, "It's a great school and we love Alabama. We won Alabama by 45 points, Trump said, coming within 15 points of his actual 2024 margin of victory. For all you accuracy Nazis out there. The president also shared praise for Kirk and his widow, Erica. Retirement Systems of Alabama CEO David Bronner is sounding off on the coal ash pond at Berry Electrical Generating Plant north of Mobile. AL.com's Margaret Cates reports that Bronner is calling on the state's leaders and Alabama Power to get together and solve the issue, which he called a huge environmental bomb that could cause serious damage to Mobile Bay. The pond holds 22 million cubic yards of ash from coal that's been burned for energy. Alabama Power proposed leaving the pond where it is near the Mobile River and covering it with a dirt cap. But Mobile Baykeeper filed a lawsuit against the utility and called for the coal ash to be removed from the area. State officials believe that would take decades. Now, that lawsuit is still in the courts, as is a Coosa Riverkeeper lawsuit that it filed against Alabama Power over a coal ash pond along the Coosa River. Bronner said he'd like to see the state's leaders in Washington and Montgomery unite on the issue, as they have over the reclaiming of Space Command. And the senior games are returning to Birmingham in 2029, and now it's in the city's budget. AL.com's Greg Garrison reports that the Birmingham City Council approved $750,000 in funding for the games. Now, as for the return on that investment, Council member Hunter Williams said they're expecting 30,000 room stays over a 10-day period. The event was last in Birmingham in 2017, when more than 10,000 athletes arrived with an estimated 15,000 friends, family members, and fans. The economic impact was estimated to be $38 million. Now, these games, which date back to 1969, are not to be confused with the World Games that were in Birmingham in 22. The senior games will bring athletes 50 and over to Alabama to play sports such as track and field, swimming, golf, cycling, tennis, and of course, tennis's less talented cousin, pickleball. Thanks so much for listening to us. We're going to be back here again in the morning. Until then, y'all come by and see us anytime you want to on the World Wide Web at al.com.